cater to their own family.
Well, yeah, it's.
I know the Italian mobs are going to shake them down.
The official podcast of the waterfront capital of Texas.
We running this. Let's go. I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. Everybody look at me because I'm sailing on a boat. I'm on a boat.
Weekends on the Water with Jordan Davlin of Jet Surf Houston and Scene Magazine publisher John Ennis.
That is right. This is Weekends in the Water, and we're coming to you live from the 4,000 square foot Jet Surf Houston studio and showroom along the North Shore of Clear Lake in the heart of the waterfront capital of Texas. My name is John Ennis, and as always, I'm proud to be joined by Army veteran, extreme water sports competitor, and Jet Surf Houston founder, Jordan Davlin. How goes it, Jordan?
John, what's going on, man? December 1st, happy to be here. Happy to see you, dude. Christmas is around the corner. Dude, it's going to be a good night.
Man, it's officially the holiday season.
That's it, baby. Yeah.
And we're back in the studio.
Yeah, dude. Happy to be in the studio. As much as we love going remote, and there's been a little bit of a gap. But, dude, we are happy to be back on air tonight. So
And we've got a full house.
We do. We've got a lot of interesting and awesome guests over here. So
let's introduce them.
Yeah, okay. So we've got a couple of people here. I'm going to throw it out to Gary B first because Gary Bolton is
Bolton's back.
An awesome guest on our show. We're happy to have him here, and he was able to get Kiki Doogie, Amy Cave, and Jacob Kitchens here. So we're excited to talk to everybody here and talk about all the fun, cool events that are going on in the area.
Hey, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how you doing, Gary?
I'm doing well. It's great to be out here and on this cold evening, 45 degrees. Is that about right?
Not too cold. But
But it feels good in here. He's got the heater going.
I mean, I might have to wear a wetsuit. Might need a wetsuit to go do some jet surfing.
You would need a wetsuit, that's for
true.
sure.
It is a little.
You being a Texas boy, absolutely.
Yeah. So, December 1st?
December 1st?
2022.
That is
That's
correct.
right, man.
Yeah.
That's right.
30 more days and a new year's going to be here.
Right.
Yeah.
Blink of an eye, 4 weeks.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
You saw that coming.
So when we decided to come to the studio today, I didn't know we were going to be, doing the Christmas carols or just taking out boards.
Are we singing? Is that what you're telling us?
I don't know. I mean, Kiki, do you sing?
Not.
I'll tell you what.
I heard you got the choir voice.
You don't want to hear me singing, believe me. I don't even want to hear myself singing.
I've heard him sing.
Nobody wants to hear me sing.
Not too bad, but
Now,
not great.
Jacob, on the other hand,
I'm pleading the
He can
fifth
sing.
on this.
right,
It's
I've
been a
enjoyed
while.
hearing him sing for years.
Thank you.
So, Gary, why don't you introduce Kiki real quick and tell us a little bit about y'all's relationship and kind of what y'all have going on with the social outreach thing and just the community efforts and, everything y'all are doing for the community and people in need. So I'm going to let you introduce Kiki, and we're going to get him on the mic.
Yeah, so we got to meet this wonderful guy named Kiki. I was like, man, who's this guy? Kiki. So that's a fun name. I found out what he was doing in the community, helping out all these people, and I'm like, I need to meet this fella. And I was like, how am I going to get in touch with him? Well, of course, we're all connected on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, Twitter. I mean,
Fax machine?
Fax machine, too.
Yeah, everything.
And what do you call it?
Everything.
The telephone, the most important.
Oh, yeah.
Can't leave without it. And when I got to meet him for the first time, where was it at?
Scallywags.
Scallywag.
Oh, Scallywags.
Yeah, he
yes.
had messaged me. He said, hey, would you like to? He messaged me and he said, hey, you'd like to meet? I said, sure. And he said, where at? I said, are you free? He said, yeah. I said, okay. Then let me know where you're at and I'll be there.
So I was like, well, let's go ahead and get a burger. It was Wednesday. I think they got their burger and brew special.
Yeah.
And we know Demetrius,
Great food. Great
Great
people.
Great food, great beer selection,
Absolutely.
great staff.
Yes.
He owns a couple places, right?
Right. He pretty much got his spots in all four corners.
Man, but he's worked his way up, man. I remember when he was busting at the Flying Dutchman back in the day at like age 14. I mean, he's worked his way up, Chart House and Monkey Bar, bartender there. And then, of course, started Bacchus back. Gosh, was that? That was right about the time Hurricane Ike hit us. So,
2009.
everything Dimitri has, he's earned, and he's done it the right way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's made everything better, and he hires quality staff and employees and stuff like that, and he gives
Absolutely.
them latitude to be able to work on their own time zone, which is really good for a person that runs companies.
True that.
Yeah, he's definitely a passionate entrepreneur for sure.
With a lot of creativity, too, man. Yeah.
he is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love what he did to the old Zone 504, Kip Rose.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, man, that's beautiful. That's like a piece of art. The whole building, man.
Yeah,
That's
you
really
ain't
nice.
kidding.
That's insane.
I think he went to Clear Lake High School.
Oh yeah, Dimitri's high school graduate. Yeah,
I don't know what year he was, but he's only a couple of years older than me, so I didn't know it was.
He's a couple of years younger than me. I know that much.
So he's in there.
Which pretty much everybody seems to be nowadays.
He's
Unfortunately,
either graduated in 90 something or 2000 something somewhere.
yeah, I think he's probably in the mid to upper 90s, like 97. I'm guessing 95, somewhere in that range.
Yeah. So if you hear this, Dimitri,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to get you on the show next time.
Yeah, we love you.
Absolutely, yeah. I've tried to get him on the radio. He says he doesn't like to talk. You know, yeah. He's more of a man of action, not a man of words, and that's literally coming from him. I mean, so yeah.
Well, you can do
but we'll
both.
keep trying. Yeah, we'll keep trying. In worst case, we'll get Lance or somebody else representing him. You know, on the air.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So when I got to meet Kiki, we were talking about different things going on. He had his own approach with like doing outreach and helping out the community, getting involved with different organizations. And I was like, hey, what do you do? Do you run like a nonprofit? Are you part of some foundations? Are you a board of directors or anything? He's like, oh, no. I do this out of my heart. I really enjoy doing this. I was like, well, you do this all day? He goes, yeah, I pretty much do this all day. I was like, well, how do you do all your other business? Well, he told me something like, hey, they pretty much run themselves. I got it to a point where they could scale and take care of themselves. And I was like, wow, man, I need to learn something from you because you seem to got everything all.
That's a true leader right there. It's somebody that's got leaders underneath him, right?
Yeah, if you bring something and you have a great business model and you bring in personnel and you give them, the ways to show what they need to be taken care of and you give them room to grow, they'll take care of it. If you treat them, fairly, they're going to take care of you. That's just the way it works.
Awesome.
And no micromanagement requirement or anything like that. But what he was talking about when we first met about the, the organization stuff, he said, hey, who runs it? I said, it's me. I don't have any organization, but I love people, and I have an army of people. When I met Amy, I thought, okay, she's got a skill set. She's a partner. I met Jacob. He's got a skill set, but he's a partner because we have a passion for helping other people, special needs children, children with Down syndrome. Anybody that needs some help, no matter what, we're willing to help. And when I met Gary, I mean, he's passionate about what he's talking about. And he was surprised how quickly, when he asked me to come talk to him, he told me. He said, man, I messaged you, and you're like, wow. I was like, surprised you just showed up. I said, hey, you tell me something that's going to help people, and I'm going to be there. And some of the stuff that he told me, some of the ideals that he has, is going to benefit a lot of people.
Yeah, I really do. I hope so. I think the man upstairs, if you put your mind to it, you believe in it, you pray in it, you have faith, good things happen. So I was very thankful to know that, like, hey, him and I, we had some common energy. Definitely had positive vibes, like right off the bat. And I wanted to get to know him because you can meet people on social media and you kind of get to know them a little bit. But when you get to like have a genuine eye-to-eye conversation, you get to really get to know someone. The energy is it's a lot. In today's world, it's always on digital media. Now, when you're face to face, it's really quality because people don't have time for you.
Yeah, I love quality.
People don't have time these days.
There's no substitute for face to face, right? I mean, Yeah.
I won't call you out, but I will put you on blast. You can't even call this guy and get him to answer his phone, but you can text him. He'll give you thumbs up or peace sign or
absolutely
cheerleader.
Yeah,
I care. Or what?
And he is absolutely right. And I'll answer sometimes, and I'll tell you what. Probably for about every minute, I get about 10 messages, so I can't go into paragraphs.
Right.
I respond, but I tell them, hey, I'll give you a holler later when I get some free time.
I'm getting
that's the way
getting
you
to
do
know
it.
how this guy works and operates.
Yes.
I was like, okay, I get it. I was like, man, I don't know if everybody on the air knows this, but I've shared it once before. I'm actually 36 years old. 14 years ago, I was in a car accident when I was in college. We hit a dead cow in the middle of the road, rolled a truck, broke my neck, sustained some spinal cord injuries in my neck, which led to me quadriplegia. Some people are like, what's quadriplegia and paraplegia? Quad is all four limbs, and para is two. And I was like, man, I said, Kiki, if I'm not mistaken, man, I was like, if I could just put my head on your body.
That would be probably
he was fit. He was fit. He got, like, I just got
You're like a superhero.
Yeah, he's like, I just got out of the gym, whatever. I was like, man, you kind of remind me of myself, but you just got a few more years on me. I was like, man, if I could put my head on your shoulders, use your hands and your legs, 2 heads on, we could do so much. And he goes, yeah, you're right. I was like, but, we can't really put my head on your body. I want to keep it on my body. So
Well, that's the way we get to keep both y'all's heads.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I would argue that's better.
So now we're right here in the studio, and we're talking about some events that are going on. And we did have an event, October, the Cadence Parade.
Yeah, the Cadence Carnival we had there in Kemah, October 1st. That was a beautiful thing.
That really struck
That turned
me.
out to be a really cool event, it looked like.
The
Absolutely.
one before that was the one in Santa Fe.
Yes, that was Wiley. That
Wiley.
was a parade for a child that was terminally ill. He was a 4-year-old. He died about a month and a half ago.
God bless.
What a beautiful family. What a beautiful event that was thrown there.
What
And
an awesome
Amy
thing
Kay-
y'all did before, that happened, right? I mean, so was it before or after he ended up passing?
That
we
was
did
before.
Yeah, I had got a 3-day notice that he, from a friend of mine said, hey, they were having trouble trying to get people together to do a parade. And I looked at it and researched it, and I said, you know what? I could do that. So 3 days
Yeah.
later, I talked to Amy right away. I talked to Jacob. Hey, can you come and do the video? And then we put out the word. I think we had 649 vehicles that showed up.
Wow,
and,
that's incredible.
Every vehicle
Yeah.
had multiple people
was-
in
it
there.
was-
There was thousands of people.
It was an amazing sight to see.
Yeah.
I showed up in the van. I was trying to get out and see everybody. Everybody else was rolling around in cool, jacked up Jeeps. I'm like, man, it's like I should have came in the Jeep, but I came in the van.
Doesn't Amy have a cool jacked up Jeep or something like that?
Oh, man, she's gonna be my new best friend.
There you go.
Yes. Yes, I do.
So once I saw how that parade, start to finish, before I saw the parade, build energy, rise, start, and finish, I already felt passionate about it because Wiley's story was very similar to my second cousin. He actually, 7 years old, Jake. Jake was diagnosed with cancer at 7, and he was. I think he's more of an action figure superhero than I am. He was like Spider-Man. This kid had more energy than I could even think of. He would try to hijack me in my chair and drive me off to wherever he wanted to go. He's like, we're leaving. Here's my sword. Here's my water gun. Drive. I'm like, oh man, you trying to put me in high pursuit over here or what? So the sad part was you always say people fight cancer or beat you, and I think he beat it. And it was just really touching because he actually did beat it. He rung the bell at Texas Children's Hospital. He was on my brother's shoulders. My brother's 6'3", so Jake felt like he's 6'8". He's just like ding, ding, ding. And he got to sign his name at the very top, because my brother, had him way up there. He's like 8-9 feet in the air, signing his name at the top. And that's right when right before COVID hit, and his tests were great. He got home. And after COVID putting everybody in a jam, it definitely held him back from doing some follow-up testing.
Oh.
And it came back so aggressive. And it just... And I tried to throw him a superhero day for him at his school in remembrance of him because he basically passed away almost the day before his birthday. And I wanted it to make it a Jake Day at his school, and because kids are like, how are these kids feeling? They just lost their friend at 7 years old. Like, you don't hear your peers passing away. Like, it was kind of weird to hear peers passing away at 15, 17, 18, 20, 30, 50. I'm like, this kid's 7. And after that, I couldn't do what I wanted to do, which was throw him an event. And I was like, man, I really wanted it to be a superhero day, and quite didn't get to make that happen. But you know what? I feel every day is a superhero day because,
Absolutely.
I'm doing this every day, and I'm doing it for him, and I'm doing it for every kid, and I'm doing it for every adult, every vet. Everybody that needs something a little different because everybody, you don't know what they're going through. Like, people say, hey, Gary, you look like you're the perfect shape, healthy, never in pain. I'll put a front on my face. I'll lie to you. I'm in pain every day. You ever whacked your elbow on something, your funny bone, and everything's just like haywire? That's what I feel every day. But I never knew what that kid felt every day either. I know he was in a lot of pain, lesions all over his head. And it's just like how strong he made me stronger. And, I said at that point, I was like, you know what? I felt like more of an uncle or a bigger brother or cousin to him. And, I'm a single man, never been married, no kids. And I'm like, 36 years old, most of my peers are already having children. So, you see these precious people growing up, and that's the future of our world is, these kids. So
Children are gifts from God.
absolutely. Amen to that, brother.
Yes, sir.
So going back to Wiley's story, I felt so touched with that, and he did such an amazing job. Not only him, but the energy he attracted. It was like attracting marketing. I was like, how do you get all these people to help you? I was like, what do you do? And he's just, I don't know.
What I have is when I was a
He had a gift. I was like, what's your
Yeah.
gift? He's just being himself, real. Like, just chilled. And I was
Yeah.
like, I like it. It's so natural. I was like, man, bro, you are the icon of sociable outreach.
You're talking about Kiki now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and what
Absolutely.
he's done to try
I was
to,
like,
get involved with these
Kiki.
different things. And
yeah.
I've been doing this outreach for so long. I was like, man, I'm missing a piece
Yeah,
of the puzzle.
I love people, and I tell you what, even as a young kid, I knew, I always gave to every person I was around. And the biggest thing I noticed that I had warriors. People are my wealth. It doesn't matter how successful all the companies are or whether what's going on around me, but people, I love everybody. And when I put the word out, I made sure to include everybody, and I pounded it because to me it was real important to make sure that we recognize this is what people really are. That we are all good people. We are the 99%. Everybody talks about the 1% of people that do wrong. We all want good. Amy Cave.
that's so true. Yeah.
She organized a lot of this stuff, and Jacob, he captivated. But I want Amy. She brought in her G people, and I brought in a lot of other people. But it's the collection of people to make these things happen. And when Jacob come, he said, "This is so surreal." Everybody was there. They were just like surreal. I've done 111 events, and I've seen this many, many, many times. So sometimes it's new to one person, and other times. But he could put it on video. But like I said, I like to hear Amy's point of view on this because she can articulate this. I mean, she is a very smart woman, and she has got a lot of friends. I mean, a lot of good, solid friends.
Let's give it a round of applause for Amy.
Yeah, Amy, tell us, just kind of some of your experience in past events and working with these amazing people and, kind of some of the events that are coming up and what you guys have going on in the next couple of months because y'all are involved in so many awesome different things. So.
Sure. I've put on a lot of events in my life, music events, Jeep events. This is the first event, parade event that I've put on.
Okay.
I participated in a lot of parades with my Jeep, but
Okay, yeah.
but never actually organized an event. When I approached Kiki, I said, "Hey, let me know, if there's anything that you think that I could be of service to help you with what you're doing." Because I had watched him on Facebook with the cool stuff he was doing to help people, and I was like, "Hey,
It's inspiring.
these are the things I can
do.
do. This is my experience, and let me know when I can help." And it just so happened he contacted me, not unknowingly. He didn't know, but I was in the hospital with my daughter, and she was dying. And he told me about Wiley, and I knew I had to participate. I knew I had to help. So I reached out to my Jeep friends and got the Jeep people involved, and it gave me really an opportunity to help another family and another child in a very similar situation to the one I was sitting in. I was able to talk to Wiley's mom and share my experience and what it looked like and what it felt like for me, which I don't know if it helped her more or me more, but I think it helped both of us. And the experience of seeing so many strangers, perfect strangers, come together for a child that most of them didn't know.
That's incredible.
In such a short span of time was absolutely life-changing for myself and for many of the people involved. I'm sure Jacob as well. And so from that point forward, the amount of respect I have for Kiki and for, Jacob and everybody involved in the execution of the event, I knew, no doubt about it, any opportunity I had in the future to do something with them, I would. And so every time Kiki calls me and says, "Hey, we got another thing," I'm like, "Yes, what are we doing?"
That's a great story, yeah.
I find you don't even have to have them call you. You'll probably figure it out on your own, like, so quick. You're like, okay, there's something. There's another event coming up.
Yeah.
All the
I gotta
rising
do is pick
action.
my
All
phone
the
up.
rising action. It's about
I'm
to
like,
take off.
"Kiki, what is this about? Something you're excited about?
Because there
What is
will
this?"
be something.
There will be
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Kiki's a very active individual, to say
Yes,
the least.
love
you
it.
know? Yeah, like you said, you're out there tackling the world and tackling problems and helping people. It's
Yes.
really amazing, the team
Absolutely.
y'all built and everything that y'all are doing. And I love to get involved myself. And like I said, we're here to try to promote some of the events you're involved in.
We can
and just some of
utilize-
the causes. I mean, yeah.
We'll utilize your skill sets, but I'll tell you what, Jacob over there, so he'll put his 2 cents in. Let me tell you what, a lot of people want to do a lot of good things, but if you can capture the moment and people see it visually, it is just, I mean, words, you don't even have to speak anymore. And his skill set, he's a great guy. He's extremely intelligent, too. He does this free. Every person that's involved with anything that I've done, 111 events, it has been 100% free. People pay to come to help others. That's a testament. Men and women will come together and they will help others. But I want him to tell you, with his own words, what he did as far as video and pictures, and they're just helping, and then coming up with ideas on his own is just tremendous. Jacob?
Thank you. I mean, I don't like to toot my own horn a whole lot. So, I mean, mostly for me, like bringing it back to the beginning, the first event I did with you, Kiki, was a parade for a foster kid.
Yes.
And, you know, I was like, you know, I didn't have anything to do. So I was like, yeah, I'd love to be involved, you know, and it was great. We had a great time, and, you know, a lot of people turned up. And then whenever I found out about Wiley's story, it actually struck a lot of nerves with me because my little brother died of leukemia when he was 12. Wow. So I was like, kind of like Amy, I was like, I feel called to do this. And I was like, I want to do something a little different, you know. And, I've been a photographer for over 10 years now. And, you know, I've shot weddings, families, all the things, right? But, you know, this year in particular, 2022, I started to dive into video a lot more. And I was like, I want to be I tried to put myself in the shoes, like if it was my little brother got something like this, I would want to see him, not just in a photograph, because, I mean, like we always say, a photograph's worth 1,000 words, and that is true. But, you know, today's society has moved along to a lot more video, right? Everything is video now. You got to capture people's attentions in like 5 seconds. And the thing is, like, I wanted to do something for him and his family that would be something they could look back on in like 10, 20 years and be like, that was a special day. That was our boy. Look at all this, the people that cared about him, you know, and that was my goal, is I wanted to be able to do something for them that I wish that would have been there for me whenever my little brother died, right? So, and, you know, it's tough, you know, all that is really tough. Yeah. And, you know, I don't mind doing stuff for free. I think that it's important to do stuff for free in anything you do in life, right? Because giving back to the people around you and the people who care about you is important. And, you know, not everything has to be for profit.
Hey, man,
right?
we are fruits of our own labor. So, you know, giving is working. You're going to receive it. It don't have to be monetized. And it comes back to you. I think when it sentimentally touches you, that feeling's for a lifetime. You can, $1 will come and go out of your pocket so quick, but that feeling and that memory,
it's priceless.
It's
100%.
priceless.
Well said, Gary.
Yeah, well said.
Absolutely. So, Kiki, I know we were talking about Jacob. I am so thankful that I got to know you and you introduced me to Amy and Jacob. I feel like I just met me like an extra a set of wings, you know?
Yeah, family.
Yeah.
I was
Like
like,
that's one thing that I learned.
I'm wearing this shirt called Soar. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
But I do stuff with it's called Swift Outdoor Accessible Recreation, and it's about leadership, motivational. But when I say, you know, extra set of wings, man, I'm always trying to soar like an eagle. So I think we're all eagles.
Yes, sir.
Either eagles or doves, one of them.
Well, one thing that I've learned through this journey, I guess you call it, is that when people want to be involved in something, but they don't know what to do. And that's what's so great about someone like Kiki, who has enough reach and enough people. Like we're here all at this table together right now. Yeah. And a lot of that spurns from Kiki randomly meeting us, right? Whether he's the center point or not, it doesn't matter. We're all here and we're all talking about the same thing, and we're all helping out. And those people that join in and help, they get satisfaction from that in some way, I'm sure. But it's created this community that like we all kind of look out for each other, and I think that's like one thing that like kind of just went away when, you know, the COVID crap happened, and now I think like this is one thing that our community here, especially, by the Bay here, is like we really needed that. We needed something to rally behind. And I think all the things that we've all been doing is making a huge impact. So
I think we are all basically leaders. We're teaching our community to be leaders, stand up and to come together. I mean, how many, I said this before, I asked this twice. How many towns we got connected together? I mean, what we got?
7
towns,
all glued together around the lake.
Yeah, between Alago, Tail Lake Village, Seabrook, Nassau Bay, Webster, Houston, Pasadena, LaPorte,
so many
Deer
of them.
Park, Lake City, Kemah, Clay Shores. I mean, it's really crazy how many cities touch the water around here, right?
And we all feel like a big, giant community or a big family together.
I mean, you drive from city to city, and you don't even. A lot of times, you don't even realize or even care that you're in a different city because it's all one big group, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. You can travel 2 miles and go through like 7 different jurisdictions around here.
Exactly. But you don't think about that. It's just this is our neighborhood.
As long as you have your A game when you're driving, you're good.
Right. Yes, there's some areas you don't want to drive through.
Right.
Yeah, do the speed limit.
Don't bring your C game to some of these areas, right?
And that shows you how connected we are with all the cities. If there's a storm or anything like that, it affects us all. And, the way I look at all you guys is we're winning together.
Yes.
And that's the only way I know. If you're winning and I'm winning and she's winning and he's winning, we're all winning together. We all benefit from it. You don't leave nobody behind. Everybody has different purpose and everybody has different consequences that they come up in their growth and childhood and stuff like that. But, you can utilize that to help other people. I meet a lot of special needs kids. I have never had that, children that have special needs, but I love them. Children with Down syndrome, I love these kids. I was at a house the other day. We were talking to he's 17 years old. He didn't have a suit. He says, hey, what can you do? I bring a suit, bring a guy here, he tailors and all that stuff. The kid told me it was the most beautiful thing that's ever happened to him in his life. And I'm looking at this right here, and I'm thinking, this is great. And I'm consistently running across these things. But I'm thinking, this is one moment that this kid is seeing some complete stranger that he just met and come in there and help him with what he needs. If we can actually get to know each other face to face and help each other with no expectations in return, I tell you what, we all will have a better world.
Oh, absolutely.
And we all want friendship. We want to be treated with respect. We all want kindness.
Yeah, and I have 2 teenage daughters, right? And it's my kids are pretty smart, they're pretty intelligent, and my daughter, she's 15, and it's so funny the things that kids remember, right? And it could be something simple as like you're in a Jack in the Box parking lot teaching your kid math, while you're waiting for your food. And that one little thing that seems insignificant is something they're going to remember in the future, right? And so we always have to remember that like everything that we do, so, especially when you're involving someone else, especially with someone you don't know, like that might be impacting their life in a huge way and you don't even realize it.
Absolutely.
So
I agree. And I didn't know Amy her daughter had an issue and she passed away. And I just didn't know this was coming on. And she jumped in 100%. I mean, it was like, I'm here and I'm doing it. Just let me know which way to go. And I'm like, and after a few minutes, I was like, let her know which way to go. She knows which way to go.
Amy is like one of the
let's
strongest.
go.
She's one of the strongest people that I've met.
Yeah,
heart of gold, and just a really amazing person, honestly. And anyone that meets Amy would agree.
Yes,
that she's
like a
natural
superwoman,
healer. Even what you do for a living. You're a healer. So it's amazing.
Yeah, tell us about that, Amy.
Yeah, I want to hear this.
I love helping people in whatever way I can. I've been a massage therapist for a long time, and
my muscles are feeling a little.
She can fix you.
Okay.
Yeah. I was born to help people, and massage has really given me an opportunity to do that. I have an office in Kemah, and I love helping people in this area with their pain and suffering. We do stretching and massage, and I help with postural advice, sleep positioning, because 90% of people's pain, if it's not caused by, it is made worse by the way that you sit, the way that you sleep.
Yep, that is for sure.
Yeah, no.
I am.
So I don't just give you a massage and send you on your way. I actually give
I'm
you
a testimony
advice.
of that. I sit a lot and I lay a lot. So
Yeah, I wake up in a pretzel all the time. I don't
yeah?
know how I get there. Yeah.
But I think she's a psychologist too, because she definitely knows how to communicate to people.
That is for sure.
And she's a very good listener.
And she's very beautiful too. So you got.
Hey,
you
watch
got
it,
the-
Gary.
you
Watch
got-
it,
You got
Gary.
the best of all worlds over
Yeah,
here.
yeah, she made us look good tonight.
Yeah, right.
We all went from 5s to about 7.5s with her sitting next to us.
Thanks,
The way it works,
guys.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Hey, the higher the pH, the more alkaline
awesome.
it is. So she seems pure. She can take care of a lot of things,
Yeah.
especially what do you call it? Oh man,
I'm gonna
Say
let
it
you
right.
answer.
Come
I'm
on,
gonna let you
Gary.
answer that one.
I'm gonna leave Gary hanging on that one. I don't know where he's going with
I
that.
know the word. I know the word. I know the word. But the word that I'm trying to say can't come to my mind right now. What is it called when you have?
A happy ending.
No. And she has a
dear
sense of
God.
humor. And she has a sense of humor.
Oh, we are not going to do that. Let's get back on subject. Man.
Let's get back on subject.
Yeah. Let's do that. But we have a lot of events coming up.
Yeah, let's
gotta
talk
laugh.
about what's going on in this
'Cause
local
everybody's
area that we
happy.
all are a big a
Everybody's
part of
happy.
and love and represent. League City to Seabrook to Kemah.
Yes.
El Lago. Friendswood. I mean everything around here. So yeah, let's let Kiki talk about some of the things he's got
we have
coming up that he's
there's
involved in.
Yeah, there's a Christmas parade on the 3rd. It's this coming Saturday for the city of Lake City.
Yeah.
It's very festive, and it's oriented. The city of Lake City does a really good job on putting events together.
Yes, they do.
Not
Yeah.
down,
Yeah.
not
That's
putting
my
in-
home.
It's my home too, and we love it, and I love every city around town. But they just do an exceptional job of bringing people together. And I've watched how the kids come out there and how the parade and the way it's routed. It's good for the kids to be able to do that. And it's December 3rd. It's going to be this Saturday. Be there by 5:15 if you want to beat the traffic. A lot of people show up 6:15, which is fine.
And where's
It'll be a
this
great
located
event.
at?
It's going to be on Main Street right there in Lake City.
518.
Yeah,
Main
518.
Street,
It
yeah.
starts at 270, and it just goes all the way to the park. They got festivities and stuff. If you pull up, the website or the Facebook for the city of Lake City, you'll find all the information because they're very good at detailing. You don't have to go search it; they got it available for you.
That
Absolutely.
parade is good
Hey.
every year. too.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, but it's 25 years. I think it's been in now.
That should be easy on SEO, search engine optimization.
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely. Huh.
And I take a lot of pictures, so believe me, if you're there, I'm going to take a lot of pictures of you guys. So get ready. And then there's a few other ones, but the one that I really want to talk about, the Winter Formal that Dash Gordon, he's a friend of mine. Hey, Dash, what's up, boo? He's a great guy. And then I got a couple of Stacy. She's involved in it, and I've got involved in it too. There's going to be a lot of special needs children there.
I
We're
heard
gonna
about
get to-
the Winter Formal. I talked to Dash Gordon. I'm supposed to
Yes.
meet him too. The Winter Formal is going to be over at the Kemah Gardens off of Anderson Lane or something.
Oh, Anders. Yeah,
Anders
yeah.
Lane.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's a beautiful location.
Beautiful
Absolutely.
facility. Yeah.
Yes.
I actually met the couple that run that place, Cedia and Mr. Dan. I met them. My cousin got married there, and I was honored to go be there in my cousin's wedding. It was short, quaint, and I was like, wow, this is a very beautiful place. And I was just like, wow, like, y'all live here. You got the venue, you got your lake, you got, I don't know, about 10 acres of land. And
The hidden gem.
hidden
Yeah,
gem.
absolutely. It's nice.
So I got to know Cedia very well, and I was like, hey, I want to do an event at your place. And we actually did one. We did one that was called the White Linen Dinner.
That was a little while back.
A
Yeah, it
while
sounds
back.
familiar.
It was
Yeah,
last
yeah.
year. So when I heard about this going to be at the Kemah Gardens, I called that Cedia. I was like, wow, so we're going to have a winter formal. Mind you, said she was at my house having dinner with her husband not even 2 months ago. I was like, we were talking about doing something just like this, and I was like,
It's a great ideal because it allows the kids to get dressed up and look really nice, and not in a gym or some sports facility or something like that. They can do it, and this is be something to be memorable for. And it's a 15-year-old up. A lot of high school kids and stuff, and they're just going to get to meet a lot of people that they don't know too.
I know they're going to have a wonderful good
They'll
time.
have a great time, and
Yes,
that's
yes.
one thing I recognize. When I go, I give bicycles and toys and stuff like that. Most of the stuff I do by
I
myself.
see a lot about the bicycles. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's really cool that you're able to round these things up and buy them, find them, people donate them. I mean, but you disperse them to the right people. That's really cool.
Absolutely. And then it gave me an opportunity to utilize it to meet all the kids. And I would come to a lot of houses where there would be an individual sitting there over there by themselves, and I'd say, hey, what size they need? And then I found out there's special needs and stuff like that. These kids are smart, they electronically, they're smart, they're savvy. And I'm like, dude, you're using big words on me, man. You got to slow down. But you know what I found is that most of them want friends, and they want to get and be exposed. So I just, over the years, I said, you know what? I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to make that full time, and I'm going to pound it.
Get them out of the house. Everybody's strapped to their phone or their video game.
Well, give them something to do and organize, like Amy said, and she can articulate this also. Let's make sure that we're going to make it around the special needs. Will you say something about that real quick, Amy? Because she really is good about this. And she made a valid point when we discussed about the special needs and making events that are geared around them.
Well, it's just important to make events for children that have special needs, because we have plenty of events for children, but there's nothing that is suitable there for kids with special needs. And the parents don't want to bring their kids and tell them, oh, no, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Right.
Let's just watch all the kids have fun while we sit back and do nothing. So we felt like it was really important to put on an event for children with special needs who have challenges, and to provide activities and things they could do that were specifically for them.
Ways for them to get involved.
To get involved. And they could bring their siblings, their neighbors, their friends, their classmates. Regular, normal kids could come. But this event was made specifically for special needs children, so that they could feel special.
Absolutely. And they are. Absolutely. They're special.
And the highlight of that day, I think, October 1st, was the foam trailer, man.
Oh, Marco did a good job.
They were just spraying foam on all over the place, and these kids were just running through it, riding through it,
wheeling through it.
Yeah, and they had a blast. I remember Cadence, she got up and she got in there, and she just freaking loved it, man. It was really awesome.
And the parents were really surprised. They were like, wow, this is even better than we thought. We knew it probably going to be pretty solid, but it's even better than we thought. And then the kids, a lot of times what they say been to parades and stuff like that, but they said, I'm looking at my father, my grandpa, my uncle, my cousins, or the community of special needs. They said a lot of the things we've done collectively, they get to meet strangers, people that are about their communities and stuff like that, and they see that there's people that care about them. It's the same thing with foster care kids. I got involved with sanctuary foster care through, doing parades and stuff like that. And they try to make sure they place children into a family, and it's going to be consistent, not 7 different families, maybe 1, maybe 2, And I seen that they didn't feel like they were important. And that's where the bike deal and the shoes and stuff came in.
Connecting people, and, people that, like you said, don't always feel comfortable at these events are able to make friends, and you're building this community where they feel comfortable together and they want to hang out, and they get to go look forward to the next event.
Absolutely.
When normally, like you said, they may not even know about something like this, or there may not even be something offered. So I imagine that a lot of these people are able to come to these events, and they're excited about it, to see their friends and stuff.
Yeah, they're extremely excited about it because, and through social media and through communication and stuff like that, I'm a spear. When it comes to a child, you ain't stopping me. I'm 100 miles an hour, and we're going to make sure we take care of it. If there's a wall, we're either going over it, through it, or around it. It doesn't matter. Because we got to make sure that we look out for them.
Special ops over here, man.
And you got to let the kids know. And through, social media and people that they believe what you're talking about because they see it.
Right.
And if we can't take care of our children, our special needs, our elderly, who can we take care of? Actions
speak louder than words, and Kiki, I think you're putting the action in there, man. A lot of people talk about this stuff. They want to do something, but they don't know how to, or they don't know how to get involved, or they don't know. But you're literally connecting people, and you're making it happen, and that is just absolutely admirable and tremendous.
Absolutely. You're definitely a mentor to all of us.
And it's a Warriors, it's team that's doing this here. I'm the face of it, and I'm a communicator and stuff like that. But I collectively get a group of people, thousands of people that help out, and I give them all credit, 100%. I like being the person that takes if somebody don't agree, we'll work through it. Cities or whatever, we're going to make it happen. But the people that are working with me are just tremendously.
You can't do
I
it
love
alone.
them all.
Yeah,
absolutely. When you think you know it all and you can do it all, you're doing nothing.
That's very true.
Yeah. Wow. Man, it's like a big verbal pause.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to take a break.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
soak it in.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember I met Kiki literally on the street of between Voodoo Hut and Scallywag.
Right.
And they had the big boat parade going on. What's it called?
Texas Outlaw Challenge. Right.
And I'm walking by, and Kiki's like, "Hey man,
take a picture."
Hey man, you stay in pretty good shape, huh? And I'm like, I mean, man, I feel scrawny today, but yeah, sure. He goes, yeah, you look good. My name's Kiki, you know. We started chit-chatting, you know, and you know, we became friends. And we, you know, it's amazing how, like, Kiki has this ability to go up to any stranger. It doesn't matter who it is and start a conversation, right? And I think a lot of us, we're either scared to do that or we feel like uncomfortable to do that, right? And Kiki, he don't care. He'll talk to anybody. It doesn't faze him one bit, but he's good at it. You know, he's good at making friends, and I think that's one of the reasons why people are able to rally around him for a lot of this stuff. You know,
sociable therapy. Is that like the new thing to call it?
It's definitely a skill that he has.
How many years ago was this when you ran into him at the Stampede party?
This year.
Oh,
wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, I've seen Kiki around, right? I mean, he's been around. I've probably seen him a few times. I've probably even talked to him once in passing, but that was the first time I had a real conversation with him, and we became friends. Yeah,
I met him at the Outlaw Challenge, too, and that was, I guess, June of this year, and a good friend of mine, Zuhair, introduced us, and I don't know how well you know Zuhair.
Yeah, I know him
y'all are
pretty good.
friends, but he said, "Man, you got to meet this guy," and he introduced us. And then after that, I guess I became friends with you on Facebook, and then I started seeing all the action, and my goodness, what I've seen in the past 6 months just from that has been just phenomenal. I don't know what you've done in the past part of that, but from what I've seen, literally since the Outlaw Challenge this year, I am very impressed. Yeah, definitely.
Thanks.
So.
Well, it's the thing is I love everybody, and I want everybody to be successful. And it's easy for me to approach people. If they don't like me, that's okay. I don't run across many people that don't like me, but that's okay.
Who cares if they don't like you?
It doesn't matter.
And
because everybody has different attitudes, but if you're true and you're honest and you're sincere to people, most people will come across because they'll say, the guy's got good karma. They say, hey, I'm sorry. And then we become friends. I got thousands. I got a lot of friends, and I love every one of them. And, these happen to be some friends that I met recently that I think they'd follow me on social media. She's seen some of the things, so I got her involved. And I got like 100 different groups doing 100 different things. At His Feet Ministries, Richard Vega, Yost, they'll bring out 40 warriors. I mean, when I call him, he's got 40 people that are what you need done. We're 22,240 meals. They're saying it's going to go from 8 to 3, and I'm like, it ain't going from 8 to 3. We're going to be done at 11 o'clock, and then we're going to do something else. They said, what are we going to do? I said, I got 9 more things we can do. We can fill in them blanks. So if you look for stuff to be able to help people, it is not that difficult. If you can find people that want to help, that's not a problem either. You just got to have some logistics, some organization, and have a purpose. Yeah. Why are you doing it, and what's going to be the result? But I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been doing it for social media for quite a while. I didn't get onto social media until April 2013, and I'd say by year 2016, then I started utilizing it to put out the stuff so people would know what I'm actually doing, because I've been doing this for a long time, even before that, just quietly. 90% of the work I do, just by myself. I get a cause, and I go do it.
Well, people noticed, and you've touched a lot of people. You've inspired a lot of people at this table, like you said, who you maybe haven't even known that long. And look what these people are willing to do, in your footsteps and just be a part of it. And so it's really amazing that you've been at this for a few years and what you've accomplished. And, man, I really would love to see you keep on doing this.
Absolutely.
And just get bigger and better. And I don't know how many events you can do, Kiki, but you do a lot, man. And so, again, my hat goes off to you and your team and everybody that's involved. It's really amazing stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what? The podcast, this is going to be a good avenue to be able to get out more communication. You guys own a company, and I'm looking at it right now, the first time I've seen it. And I've seen some of it in action and stuff like that. But, this is a product right here that's going to change. These boards look amazing, bro. It will absolutely change people's adventure.
Yeah.
You're going to put them in a position of they're going to be just, wow, look at this, I'm having a blast.
It's a whole new water toy, a whole new concept. It's a lot of fun. It's an experience. Like I said, what we're selling is an experience, fun on the water, and lots of people can do it. We're trying to, get Gary involved in it and modify a board. And it's literally can be for everybody. And so I'm so glad that you came tonight and you got to see the product and come in the studio. And, we'd love to have you out on the water, and we'd love to get our company involved in some of these events.
Yeah.
Anything we can do to, give back or give away or anything. I mean, I'd love to do that, any way I
Absolutely.
can. So.
The Walsh family over there at Jet Skis was another. They were offering to give out free rides and stuff, and then Sailing Angels, we got them where they can do special needs, and then you guys with your product. There's a collection of people that can actually do a lot of things that can help out a lot of people.
Well, we're looking at an expert right here, rider. So, if you need some skills or some training,
Hey, I am 100%.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
I heard you're really good. That's
No,
what I
he's
heard.
good, man. Yeah, he's been competing all over the world. Earlier this year, you're competing in Russia, right? I mean,
Yeah.
only American, right?
I think last year was the only American to compete on the international circuit, and my last race was in Russia before, all the Russia stuff kind of popped off, and that's not Russia, that's a government, right? It's different, but it's been a lot of fun. It's been an adventure. I've met a lot of amazing people. And just like here tonight, and so it's been a fun ride, and I'd like to get more people involved in the sport and be a part of more events. And what I love about it is I don't just sell a product, but it is a sport, and so people can progress at it and learn. And it's a lot of fun. It's something new and fresh on the water, and so I'm blessed and like I said, happy to be doing it and happy that y'all are involved and think it's cool. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard so many
It's super
great.
cool, bro.
Yeah, I've heard so many.
I want to do it.
Yeah, I do too, and I've heard so many great things about you. But if I want to do it with you one day, I want him to take the pictures because as I'm falling and learning, he will make me look.
I will get the best photo.
He will
Wipeout
make me
photos
look.
are the best photos.
He'll make me look good falling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Even like that Kiki
100%.
fell well.
That is the most graceful fall.
You're
of
not
all
having
time.
fun. You're not learning unless you're falling.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna have a little circuit race out here. Have put up the buoys and waste around them. Get a little drone following y'all around.
I love
right.
adventures.
Me.
Oh, drones are great too.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Hey, the boards do about 40 miles an hour.
Yeah,
so
they'll
it's a
zip.
drone.
Crazy to think that drones are only 10 years old. I mean, my goodness, like how far they've come since 2013.
They're
it's
nuts now.
It's insane. I mean, there was no drones except for, super expensive government type stuff until 2013. And then it wasn't even popular until, say, 2015 or 16. And the last 6-7 years, a 5-year-old kid can literally, blast off. I mean, it's really phenomenal.
It's changed the world, I think.
It really has, yeah. The aerial photography is just tremendous.
It's a flying camera platform.
Wow, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
back in the day, you used to throw up the drone, put a little GoPro to it. You wouldn't even see what you shot until you got it down and took the disc out. Now you got a first-person view. Yeah.
Now they got those goggles now where you,
Right,
you put on the
yeah.
goggles
Oh,
and you
it's
literally
crazy.
flying like you're
I saw
there.
one of those.
Yeah, you ever see the kids and their dads are doing a ESPN racing, drone racing?
Yeah,
You got like 7-8-year-old kids.
they got drone races. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it's
It's unbelievable what they can do now.
They got these guys that do like freestyles with the drone. They'll find like an old abandoned building or like a paper mill or something, and it's all the brakes are all falling apart, and they'll literally fly this drone through all these tight corners, and it's like an experience to watch it. They put a little bit of music to it, and they're doing like all kinds of aerial flips. It's really fun to watch.
Yeah, I've got a buddy that he's flown through gallery furniture, and he's going under sofas and around tables, and he's going to actually be at the boat show, and he's literally going to fly through boats and inside of boats and do stuff that some people just aren't doing, and that's that new technology, and it's really amazing how far they've come. And it comes from the drone racing and these new first-person drone. It's come a long way.
FPV
Yeah,
drones.
yeah, absolutely.
That's one area that I
DRL,
have.
Drone Racing League.
Is that what it's called?
There's a drone racing league, and then you said a FP.
Well,
Yeah.
FPV is just first person.
First-person view, yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's one area that I have not gotten into yet in my photography video journey is drones.
Well, hey, I have
And
one.
I'm scared
Let's
to
go fly
death
it.
because
Let's
man,
go fly it.
When I buy one, I'm the kind of guy that I like to buy the best possible thing that I can afford, right?
Get you
Because
a
I only
D-
want to try to buy it once. I don't want to buy it a bunch of times. But the thing that scares me is like if I wreck it.
Right.
I ruin it. It's like throwing $1,000, $2,000 in the drain, and I just
No,
There's
you're
insurance for that now.
but you are looking at a guy right now that lost a drone and a GoPro in Clear Lake back probably about 2013, somewhere in that range.
Yeah,
the old
That's-
the Phantom one, from
Yeah.
DJI. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
gotta be a
I used to be
painful feeling.
fearless, and then all of a sudden now I'm not so fearless.
I definitely want one. I know DJI has one out called the Mini.
Yeah,
3.
the minis. Yeah, that's the way to go now.
It's a baller
Yeah.
drone, man.
I got
And
one of
It's
them.
affordable. It's fairly affordable.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
and it kind of ticks all the boxes that I need. But I'm like, if I just wait a little longer, the drone
keep getting better.
The 4 will come out, you know. And I don't want to have buyer's remorse, you know.
Right.
So I'm like,
That's what happens.
maybe I'll get the 4.
Yeah, because the second you buy 3, right, the 4 will come out
Exactly.
2 months later, and you're like, oh.
I did get the new GoPro though. The new GoPro is pretty good.
Are they?
Yeah, it's got like the sensor is like a 7x8, so it's not your typical sensor. So you're able to crop it like for vertical video and horizontal video without having to turn it sideways, right? Because of the aspect ratio, and it's pretty good, man. I like it.
My line of work has definitely tested the best of drone pilots. You know, now they have waterproof drones, and there's guys that they have insurance and they're skilled now. But when I first got into this, I couldn't find a lot of drone pilots that were willing to film us because they've already lost a couple, and you never know, it could go haywire, the battery could die. I mean, it could just anything can happen, right? You're trying to go 36 miles per hour to follow this guy, and then you run into a building or something or a boat or whatever. I actually one of my guys crashed one of my drones into a boat, and that's how I lost my first drone. That got wrecked. But yeah, it definitely will test you. Now, like I said, a lot of guys can do it. It's come a long way. But
they've actually had that. There's a lot of rules and regulations that have come up with drones now. And like in Canada, you have to have a pilot's license to use a drone. Unless it's under a certain weight, which
that's why the Mini. Yeah,
Mini
that's
3
the key with the Mini.
is under the
there's always a loophole.
the weight, right? So, and that's one of the reasons why I kind of strayed away from the drones for so long. But now that Mini 3's out,
you
man,
don't have to register a Mini.
Yeah, so I'm like, that's looking pretty good. Maybe I'll come fly a drone for you.
Yeah.
If I can,
I took a drone photography class once. I'm not a very good drone pilot, but I feel like at one point I knew what I was looking for in the drone footage and kind of how to tackle that. But yeah, I've never been able to practice enough or really get skilled at it enough, just doing other things. But
it's just
man,
like
I've seen guys really. I met a guy at an event, a wakeboarding event, like a month ago, and he was doing things with the drone I'd never seen before. It was a first-person view, and I mean, he was just. He literally. This guy was like the most. I've probably worked with 15, 20 different drone guys in 5 years, and this guy literally was doing things I'd never seen before.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
how
he was
changed.
incredible.
So it's weekends on the water. What do people do on the water around here in the wintertime?
Well, they have
anything and everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of things, but I'll tell you what, Amy can let us know about the. There's the December 10th, the boat parade that's going on in
Clear
Clear
Chamber,
Lake Christmas boat. You know about that, right?
Well, the Christmas boat parade is put on
Everybody
by
knows,
the Clear Lake Chamber of
Clear Lake
Commerce.
Chamber,
Always
yeah.
has been.
Yeah.
You can view it from anywhere on either side of the lake. It starts in Nassau Bay.
Yeah, Nassau Bay,
and
Leaks-
goes out
South Shore
into the
Harbor
bay
area,
where Kima Boardwalk is.
Yeah.
And then they turn back around, right?
Yeah, the best place is definitely to catch it along the Clear Creek Channel, like Clear Lake Shores or Seabrook or the Kima Boardwalk, really.
I think last year we watched at the Boardwalk's the most popular place, but if you're trying to avoid that,
Yeah, the Clear Lake Shores is an underrated kind of place,
Yeah,
because
it's secluded a little bit.
we watched at Sam's Boat last year, I think.
Okay, yeah.
I like going to the Seabrook Point and watching it over there. It's not developed anymore, but if you get there early and you kind of know how to tuck your way in, you can really get a good view of it. So
I did it last year. It was pretty fun. I actually went with the Clear Lake Chamber, and we had some of the mayors from each one of the cities. We all aboard 3 center consoles. We were supposed to go on a yacht, but the tide was really low, so the drafting, 3-4 feet on a big boat.
No, so they didn't want to take the big party boats out.
Yeah, so we did. I think it was like a yellowfin with 350s on it.
Oh, nice.
I mean, we had like hot chocolate with a little sip in there. We had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. I mean, we're having a good time. This is make a wish, I guess. Just hopefully we don't get stuck in some mud out there in the middle, outside of the channel.
That'd be. What's a good location for families to sit over there?
Kima Boardwalk's the best place
That's the best.
for families
That's what I
to
thought.
sit and watch for sure.
And we also have on December 18th, we have the Santa's Kingdom Toy Drive and Festival. So last year was our first annual. Kevin Salter is a friend of mine, Namie. There's a group of people that work for the Waffle House. We collected about 37 bikes last year, and I personally, with Chris, we went around and delivered to a bunch of families like the 2021st. But on the 18th, if you go to my social media, you'll see where the time that it starts. But we have a helicopter that's going to bring in. There's a child. She's stage 3. And she's going to be actually in the helicopter this year. We're going to have them land at 11 o'clock there at the 3 Acres Park over in Santa Fe. There's going to be pony rides. There's going to be face painting. There's going to be bouncy houses. There's going to be all kinds of food, all kinds of events. It's a toy drive.
Yeah, I think the Santa is giving away some bears, right?
Yeah, so there's going to be a Santa Claus there. He's going to be in the helicopter. Steve is going to be the guy that's going to be doing it. But also, this is real important. You know, if you bring toys and stuff like that, we have a lot of people. I mean, we got a tremendous amount of people that we can give this to.
Absolutely.
I've got to say, Kiki, I'm very curious about this whole helicopter thing. I've always been, a fan of the helicopters, being in the military and all of that. And, man, I have to know more about this because you getting these helicopters involved and giving rides to people is something that no one I know has ever really done.
Yeah,
and so that's a really cool feature. Not only are you doing these events, but you're literally bringing in helicopters and letting people go get rides. And, I think the company you're working with is really amazing. And, so tell us a little bit more about your relationship with, the helicopter and how you got that involved in this stuff. It's really cool.
Well, I've personally worked with 7 different helicopter companies over the years. But the most recent one, Hosea, is a friend of mine, Howens. He got with a company, and he brings them in for, doing some of the events and stuff like that. And then we got some of the other ones, Republic and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Basically, I just approach him and say, hey, this is what I got, this is what I'm looking for, and this is what I need. And I tell you what, I've never been told no.
Oh, that's cool.
$1,800 for a 2-seater. It's up to $5,000. This is per hour. It's $5,000 for a 9-seater. This is not cheap.
No, it's not. That's why it's amazing you're able to pull this off. Yeah.
Well, that's why I always tell you, you build warriors. You give people a purpose and a cause. We will do it. And there, people always ask me what I do for a living. I don't even put it out there because I'm not plugging nothing. I'm strictly for the kids. And the people that are working with me, they're strictly for the kids. And it's a beautiful sight. And you ought to see our special needs. First time, the father, Amy, and Cadence, first time in their life to ever be on a helicopter, they were like kids in a candy store. And Cadence was a little bit scared, and his father was, don't want to call you out, but he was a little bit fearful. I said, you guys will be all right. Let's do it.
I remember my first helicopter ride. It was actually in Gulf Shores, Alabama. It had no windows on it. This thing looked like it was like a little small simulator helicopter. We buzzed, was it Orange Beach? No.
Yeah, Orange Beach, yeah.
So we started at Gulf Shores and went down to Orange Beach.
Yeah.
And then we landed it at the airfield next to some golf course. I think
it's real close to Pensacola, too. I'm not sure if that's where you're talking about.
So the funny thing is I went and saw my cousin and visited her in Pensacola. That was like our cousin day for the week in May. Right around, I think the Hangout Fest is a big music festival out there that she takes part of. And she's like, Gary, I do social media for these helicopters. Would you like to go in a helicopter? I was like, sure. I've never been in a helicopter. So the first time I wanted to go in a helicopter is when I wanted to be life flighted and there wasn't a bird in the air to get me. So I was like, yeah, I'll go ride in a helicopter over a bunch of hammerhead sharks in the middle of the sea with no doors on. Sure, why not?
Nice.
If I go out the window, just pull me back in. And I'm sitting there with my brother and the pilot and my cousin, and we're just buzzing over the beaches. And I was like, man, let's go land on a condominium or something. Let's do something. I was like, just as long as I don't have to go skydive out of this thing, we'll be all right. And then, sure enough, well, the next big thing happened was going with skydiving.
I was about to say, you're not afraid of skydiving.
I was like, man, this aviation stuff's pretty cool, but I like being on the water.
Skydiving is a lot of fun, man. I've only been one time, but I had a blast. I would love to do it again.
Well, you know what? You're speaking
I'm
to
too scared, but Gary's not. Man,
I think we're going to get Jordan in this jet.
I went and hung out with Gary last year when he did his second jump, and, dude, I was like, this is so cool, and the group of people you brought out there, and, like, I mean, y'all really impressed me because I'm scared, to do it, and y'all just went for it, and it was for a good cause, and it was just a really, really cool thing to be a part of. It was just really an
empowerment.
You haven't been yet, Jordan?
I've went and hung out with Gary. I've not jumped out of a plane.
Bro, yeah. So a lot of people have this conception that it's like a roller coaster, like you feel like you're on a roller coaster.
I've heard this. Yeah.
But it's not though, because when you jump out, it just feels like a giant fan's kind of blowing on you, and the Earth's just like slowly getting a little closer.
Yes.
And that was my experience, anyways. And I just thought it's beautiful. It's beautiful up there.
Sure.
And it's a little scary when you're jumping out, but once you're out, it's peaceful.
You got no choice.
And
You better enjoy it.
the free fall part is great, but the
Taking off part in that rickety-dicky plane.
oh, that's scary.
I'm like,
That's scary, bro. I thought I was gonna die.
That's like
that thing
no-
goes up like more than a 45-degree angle. It feels like it's going straight up, dude. And it's
I've never been in a plane with a door open trying to equalize pressure.
Yeah.
Sitting right out like, yeah, we're gaining altitude pretty quick. I'm in the clouds now, cloud 9.
Yeah, the parachute ride though is actually a lot of fun. It's more like a carnival ride almost in a lot of ways because you can kind of control it and whip around as you want, and it was fun, man. It's definitely worth going.
I actually ran into Zuhair when I was hanging out at Gary's event, and Zuhair was there, and I ran into a few people that day that I happen to know, and so it was pretty unique. And he was jumping and getting his license or whatever, and he said the same thing, that it's different. A roller coaster, it's the ride that's pulling you down, that
It's
inertia.
forcing the G's on you.
Yeah, exactly. When you're not in something and you're not on the track or getting pulled or the weight of it, it is completely different. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still one of these days.
You got 2 parachutes, right? It's not just one.
Right.
So you have a backup.
Oh,
so
then-
the chances of both of them being bad is highly unlikely, first of all.
Sure.
And then you're jumping tandem, someone who's an expert. And then there's also usually more people jumping. So worst case scenario, you hold on to some people and y'all just fall a little harder, maybe break an elbow or an arm.
Right. No,
So,
absolutely.
Like the safety factor is actually pretty good.
Yeah, if you look at the statistics, you have more chance of getting in a car wreck and dying in the car wreck going to your skydive event than actually skydiving.
Yeah.
Once I saw the statistics on that, I actually talked in my ICU RN nurse that was there to revive me to keep me alive when my lungs collapsed and my initial accident was May 14, 2009. I said,
Your
"Look,
angel.
My angel. She
Yeah.
was my superwoman. And I actually got her to dress up like a superwoman. And I was like, hey,
Yeah, no,
My-
that was cool. She did
Maggie.
that, and yeah, it was she
Miss
was
Maggie
nice.
from, well, I ain't going to put all the information out there. You know who you are, Miss Maggie. So my first jump was for my 10-year anniversary of, I guess, my new life or overcoming this terrible accident. And actually was the worst thing that ever happened to me in my life. And I went there. I actually kind of got dared. A good friend of mine is Quentin Servin. He's an activist in the community, him and his wife. They're
Big
the
Ass
found-
Crawfish Bash founder, and
Yeah, they're the founders of the Big Ass Crawfish Bash.
Great people.
I think it's going to be done on April 1st of
they
2023.
raise a lot of money for good causes.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a vet. I think he was in the Navy.
Yeah, Navy. Yeah.
And I got involved with him because his organization is about giving back to the veterans and disabled children and adults.
Boys Club and
Educational
all of it.
programs, and I felt connected with that. And after him and I became acquainted, we decided, we were going to do an adventure. But what inspired me, there was this gentleman, he's also involved in the community, Mike Fisher. I think he.
Oh
worked
yeah, Mike Fisher. Yeah,
I think Merrill Lynch.
yeah. And he flies for the
Financial planner?
Remax skydiving team. He's
Absolutely.
also a helicopter pilot now.
We've
I've noticed.
actually
Yeah.
I saw
talked
him
about
come.
having him on the show
Yeah.
many times.
I saw him skydiving into the Big Ass Crawfish Bash with the American flag, and another one had a Texas flag, and then we had a Remix flag. Or no, the Remix is the parachute, or
It might have been the parachute. Yeah.
so we saw all these guys coming in. I'm like, you know what? I guess I'm gonna have to jump out of a perfectly good airplane. So Quentin and I decided to do his 50th birthday, my 10-year anniversary. We did it during the end of August, going into September, which is Spinal Cord Injury Awareness Month, and we did it for an empowerment to show that overcome all fears. A fear is false evidence appears real. Oh, false evidence appears real. I guess it's an acronym. It's what I heard from someone. And I said, you know what? I got one life to live. My mother's not here, so she can't kill me for doing something wild. And all I wanted to do was feel like I was Superman for one day and soar like an eagle. And I tell you, those 1.5 minutes is like the longest 1.5 minutes ever.
Well, life is risk assessment. You assess the risk and you take it and you do it. But if you don't do anything, you have no adventure in life. And I tell you, there's a lot of people that I run across that, they even like we were going to over there to St. Louis to give some kids some rides in some 4-wheel trucks. We got a big event coming up real soon for a whole bunch of you Jeep people.
Oh, Monster Jam
get
is
ready.
coming to NRG?
Yeah, we want to take a bunch of kids out there to go to the beaches, St. Louis, and do some four-wheeling out there. And, you think, what a simple thing. But for these children, like he just said, what a moment.
Oh,
They are talking about it at their school, and their friends, and they'll message me, or my friends say, hey, I want to do that too. I took a little girl right before she had passed away, got her a bike, and we went on a bike ride. It's the only time we were able to do it because that was the only time she was healthy enough. And then we went on four-wheeling. And a lot of times, people think that this is something that's for them. As people, if we help other people, we actually win too. I mean, these special needs kids can really help us. And Gary took me on his boat with his brother, and his brother is a wonderful human being.
yeah, I wish he could be here tonight. He actually worked real late, got off, and he's like, man, I got to be up at 4 in the morning.
Yeah, but he's a great guy, and he actually did educational. I mean, you teach people. He showed people how to carry Gary off. He's a strong guy. I told him, man, I could carry him, but we're going to have to angle a little different. Cause
I wanted to teach you how to handle me, so
Yeah.
in case that day that we were going to actually
Yeah.
open up the boats for the children, I was like,
Be
well,
prepared.
I was like, Kiki, I want to show you what you're getting into. This
Yes.
is how we're going to train everybody else. I was like, I'm going to probably be the most immobile compared to these other children that have some.
And bigger.
I call it. I don't have a disability. I think I have awkward abilities. There you go.
There you go.
Or
But
mixed
they
abilities.
seen the
Positively.
video. They
Right.
seen the video of Gary, and they were saying, "Hey, that is great. Now I know how I can do it." So it was educational, and just watching the water, simple things like that, they just make such a positive impact. What he was talking about when he's jumping out of planes or whatever, that's just a moment.
Gary opens doors. like
Yes.
that.
And
He
inspires.
He really does. Yeah.
Yeah.
He opens doors for people that don't think they're capable, and he's like, dude, come on, man. Like, you can do this.
Anything is possible. Amy over there, I mean, she is she makes so many things, and there's things behind the doors that have to be done logistically, and organization and communication and stuff. People don't realize there's a lot of hours that are put into that point. And then Amy, the more she talks, the more I like it. That's all I could tell you.
Let's hear that beautiful voice.
I
Come
love
on.
because when she talks, it's like she's teaching. A lot of times, I don't even know if she's doing it intentional. She just teaches. She looks at something and says, "Oh, that's awesome." And there's another way we could do it too. And I'm like, "Oh, that sounds good to me."
Sounds like a multiple choice answer.
Yeah, she's a beautiful woman that's like a mother hen, but she don't look like a mother hen. But just brings so much to the table. And Gary's is the same
She's
way.
a motherly win. There you go.
Yeah,
Motherly win.
Nice.
absolutely.
So, are we going skydiving anytime soon? Are we going jetboarding anytime
Probably
soon?
not in the winter for me.
Are we going boating? What are we going to do?
Well, boating soon at the,
I know we
the
got some
Christmas
parades.
boat parade, and then I think John, you were going to talk about Crew de Lac maybe, and a little bit of that.
Well, we're talking about the kids, and so the Crew de Lac, which actually I'll admit I haven't been as involved with in recent years, although I'm a former king back in the
Yeah, I was
day.
gonna
But
say, former king right
official
here. Watch out.
crew of Kima. Okay, there you go. Yeah. So, but the annual Christmas toy drive and pub crawl is coming up. It's Friday, December 9th. It starts at T-Bone Tom's, and it's always fun to.
T-Bone Tommy.
Gift card.
I'm not. Yeah, now it's gift cards. We used to gather toys and then present them to the Kima police right before we go on a pub crawl in Kima, so we get the police on our side.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But it's always a fun event. I mean, but there's a lot of cool events coming up in Kima, Baytown. But one thing. I mean, we're talking about how Gary's an inspiration, and Gary, you've got some exciting news, right? I mean, I think there's some equipment on the way, right? I mean. Isn't there something coming up that you're working on that we're all full board supporting, right? I mean,
All right. So once you try,
is that too soon?
No.
Breaking
So-
news.
they say if you have
You heard it here first. Yeah.
if you have one great experience and you like it, chances are you'll have another great experience and another. So after my 4th or 5th episode being a guest, I actually had confidence in myself that I need to start an outreach channel on a podcast.
Yes.
And it sounds like a key word, sociable outreach. I mean, I'm sociable Gary. I like to outreach as far as I can, spread my wings. So I decided, my fruits of labor is giving back in the community, is sharing my voice, using my time to get messages out and share, the media of to express myself is through social media. Believe it or not, I mean, we all say we want to be in bed and relax. I'm in bed about 80% of the time of my my week, and then the other
tonight.
20% is in my chair doing something beneficial. People say, "Hey, you're always volunteering." I was like, "No, I'm actually doing what I want to do. Volunteering is just something that is looked upon, and it looks like I'm doing because I ain't asking for any rewards." And when I found that if I could take social outreach to another level by acknowledging community events, whether it's a fundraiser or a benefit for someone's loved one, a family. I mean, there's benefits popping up every day, left and right. If it's going to be doing, business marketing for some of our entrepreneurs that, whether it's a restaurant or, a shop like Jet Surf or a car dealership or, we even got one of my favorite. I've been asking for this forever. We have Tier Memorial Hermann Hospital Outpatient Rehab Center coming into Webster.
It's a big deal. Yeah, I'm really excited about that.
Really wanting to have a reliable therapy place 10 minutes from my house. I mean, I was in a car accident. Do I need to drive an hour to go get 1 hour of rehab and come drive an hour back? I mean, I-45 is one of the worst.
Yeah, you'd have to go all the way to the medical center, right? So, yeah, having something over here in this, southeast corridor is just...
And I'm dependent on transportation. Really I want to drive again. My van is it's an old 2004 beater. It gets me from A to B. I mean, it ain't 22, but, it does have a V8 in it, and
it's
it purrs.
the job done.
I mean, we got some scratches, some dings on it, but,
got some history, that's for sure.
My goal is to actually get back behind a steering wheel and drive again. And I've been very patient about it because, driving was kind of like a job. It wasn't a volunteer. It's like, man, this is stressful. You got to deal with traffic. You got to deal with people. I've never had people drive me around. And you would think after being a passenger in a vehicle, you would say, hey, no one will ever drive me again. But, I'm kind of, you just kind of lift your fears, let them go.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was a freak accident. It was it could have happened to anybody. And I'm glad it happened to me because the family behind us was a minivan full of children, and if they would have hit we hit, I don't think they would have survived. We were in a 2500 HD truck. We rolled it 7 times on cruise control. I mean, it was some wadded up sheet metal, I'll tell you that. And I was like, you know what? I would do it again any day of the week.
Well, you've taken an unfortunate accident and turned it into a positive.
Well, that's the only way you can do it.
Huge.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Truly.
Yeah.
I think it's the power of the mindset, it's mindset power.
Mindset is everything.
Absolutely. The mindset is everything.
I mean, yeah, I could be mad at the world or mad at me or this or that. I don't think I could be that person because it just doesn't transpire to me.
Yeah. Well, life throws you curveballs. It's like I got so many events. I could go on for months on events.
We got a few more episodes of those, huh?
So there's an event on Sunday, December 4th. I just found out about it recently. It's a child, and I don't think people realize, for cancer patients and stuff like that, how much money it costs just for parking.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, wow.
$25 a day.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and
you
this
get little
lady,
tokens. It's like a yearly fee. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
My stepdad dealt with it for 10 years. I mean, it is a tremendous cost.
It's a problem.
Really
and people travel around the world to come to. We're like the number one in. We have the best.
in the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
we're blessed.
And we
down
take
here.
this for granted.
And I understand why they make it so expensive. It's like on the 4th at 12 o'clock at a church over there in Alvin. They're going to have, it's the Ponchak family. They got medical expenses and stuff like that. I mean, it's going to be donations and stuff. I'm going to have a whole lot of people come there. Hopefully people will show up at 12 o'clock. It's on my social media. It's got the time and the place and the church and stuff. And it's something that we can do. It's not like a parade or anything. But if people come and buy food and they donate money, this is such an impact on that family.
A little goes a long way.
It's
Kiki.
unbelievable.
Yeah, literally, just showing up and buying a plate can make a huge difference.
And it's a 1 hour event. If we can have 200 people show up, they run out of food. I'm excited. People, you show up and they run out of food, and you give them money. I'm just tickled to death because guess what? That family is our family. If we can take an hour out of our day. On December 4th, 12 o'clock, go over to Alvin, go to the church, and give them people some money. And it's just going to help them.
That's a Sunday. That's a Sunday,
yes,
right?
Yes, it's a Sunday, and it's just they they have their church that's going to be helping them out, And like I said, it's a small location, but they need the help. And they don't even really ask for it, but they need it.
Right. I think we're going to have to put all these dates and itemize them
well, I
on the
keep it on
social
my-
media
I
because there's
do,
so many
and-
of them. You
but
just keep
Amy's-
adding and adding
There's
and
a
adding.
lot of dates.
But Amy's got something to talk
Yeah,
about.
Saturday is Chris Golden's benefit as well.
It's another one.
Yeah, and that's at Naughty Mike's.
12 to 8.
He's local business owner, independent business owner, and as an independent business owner, you don't have
Insurance.
healthcare insurance.
Yes. Yeah.
indeed.
And a ton of money in the bank, or consistent income.
Right. True
So
that.
he's somebody who's really dedicated himself to the community and been a solid person within our community. So everybody's trying to come together and support him on Saturday at Naughty Mike's. So.
It's Fight with Golden, and it's
Yeah.
going to be from 12 to 8. It's at Naughty Mike's. It's going to be right there on 146 in the Kima.
I think I finally, not that I was avoiding it or anything. I've been wanting to go over there and check it out for a while, but I think
That's a
I might have
perfect
found my
person.
reason to finally go over there and make an appearance for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Call
Come
to action.
hungry.
Yes.
Yeah, and we need this. And Eric Garza is a good friend of mine. He's
Really?
got
Yeah.
a beautiful voice
Great
and
guy,
stuff.
yeah.
And
Hey.
he's pushing it. And when people do this stuff, this is their time they're giving. And like Gary said, a percentage of his time is laying around. If we give people goals and purposes, believe me, your life is more fulfilled if you're out helping people and you can make connections and make friendships, and we can all come together as a family to help each other. $1, $2, $3, no dollars. Doesn't matter. It comes together. It helps people.
I think time's more valuable than money.
Well said.
Time is more valuable than money.
Without a doubt.
People don't have enough time. People can give money. Money's replaceable. Time isn't. And, like I said, if I had to do something, I want to make sure I'm having the biggest impact of my life and make sure I'm impacting someone else's life. So it's definitely a reward. I know I need to monetize some of my endeavors so that I can go to the next step in my own personal care. People wonder why, like someone like me that needs a lot of care and it's expensive to take care of someone with quadriplegia. I look like I don't need anything. It's just hard for me to ask for things. But I feel if I'm out there giving, it will definitely reciprocate without me having to ask. And some people don't understand that. I think I go round and round with my family about it. They're like, why are you always out there doing? No one does anything for you. I was like, believe it or not, there's a lot of people that do things for me. You just don't see it because you see it in blindness. But I feel that if I could teach more people to look at life the way I look at it, or have other people that had
That's your payback. That right there. You getting out there. You're not looking to get anything from it. You're trying to get out there and inspire people and be involved. And by you showing up and doing things, I mean, more people show up and you generate more generosity. And like that is the payback, And I mean, yeah.
In my final days, my biggest fear is being in a nursing home. My parents are gone. I have no family, and I'm just sitting there wishing I had someone to come take me to a podcast or go take me to go have a burger or get me out so I can go dance with someone, listen to some karaoke or whatever. My biggest fear is that I'm going to rot in a hospital bed. I've had about 10 friends of mine that it puts tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
I'm so humbled to have, a roof over my head as it right now, have a roof over my head, food in my mouth, fuel in my tank, and air in my lungs, and just knowing I have people there for me, and that's my biggest fear. Yeah, I want to walk again, I want to drive again, but my biggest fear is not being able to live for today, and that's why I try to do as much as I can to do as much as I can for myself, but also try to do it while winning together and helping someone else. And I think if everybody does that in this world, I think we can actually become a better world than our previous years. Honestly,
100%.
Yeah.
Like Kiki said, I think 99% of people are good. There's a few bad apples out there, but I think deep down, people are good. Sometimes they need a little push
in a little
to
direction,
do a little more and to be a little better. But I think overall they have a good heart. And when you have people around you that inspire that, it can go a long way for people that might be lost. They're not a bad person, but they have so much more to offer. And again, mindset, outlook, it's so important. And if you surround yourself with good people, that spreads, and it spreads in a really good way.
Absolutely. So I just want to say, man, it's just truly a blessing. You know, we're about to hit 2022. We got Christmas about to be here, and all I want to say is, give me another year.
Absolutely.
Give me another year.
That's a plus.
But I don't know. So, John, what are we going to do next week? Are we going to be on the podcast again?
Yeah, I think next week we might be.
I know we got a following.
Doing a boat show podcast with the chamber. Possibly.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
we're kind of working on that.
trying to get it
a
all
little
lined
preview
up.
Of the,
yeah.
You know, you kind of talked about, what do we, obviously it's Weekends in the Water. It's all about, getting out, enjoying the waterfront community that we're also blessed to live in. And of course, we're so
surrounded
spoiled
by water. Literally can see the water from here.
And we're so spoiled because, we almost have water sports year round. I mean, maybe we got to take, the Houston Yacht Club has a regatta on January 1st.
Right.
Matter of fact, it's Hangover spelled backwards is the name of the regatta.
And the Texas Surfing Association and all the guys down there, believe it or not, 100% in December, January, February, they're out there surfing. So they put their wetsuits on. They don't cry about it. So there's
we
definitely
have
people that still do
almost
it.
year-round
love
sailing.
the water.
I mean, it's
from here to Galveston, everywhere. Yeah.
No, it's
We
a
got
very
that boat show coming up, too. Is it in January?
That's right.
Boat and auto show. They're combined.
Yeah.
This weekend is
The
Catamaran
automotive
boat
show.
Yeah, the at the Kima Boardwalk, right? Yeah.
At the Kima Boardwalk
Marina. You're correct.
And what
Sixth
was
and Bradford.
what's
Yes.
The
The
Catamaran boat show?
second annual Kima Catamaran Boat Show
here
at
we go.
555 Bradford Street in Kima. Yeah, so that's December 2nd and 3rd from noon to 5:30 each day. And it's dedicated, it's the only dedicated catamaran event on the Texas Gulf Coast. And,
by Yachtcation.
yeah, so that's a fun event. Yeah.
Amy knows everything.
Right, she does. Yeah.
I just know Chris Block.
Amy knows everybody.
Amy, where are you located? You tell so people can get in touch with you. For massages or talking about some of the sleep posture and the stretching.
Toucan Alley, right?
Toucan Alley, awesome.
Yeah.
I offices in Kima in Toucan Alley, which is a 2-story building at 7th and Bradford. In the back of the building, directly behind the Art of Coffee.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. Very familiar with Toucan Alley. Actually had an office there for 2 years up until Hurricane Ike.
Yeah.
And that was
Upstairs?
Yeah, upstairs. Yeah, I think they've split it into 2 offices now, but it was one of our scene offices. Yeah, from
You're right below the bar venue, right, which has changed many, many times. But there's a bar upstairs, and you're right below that, right?
Or maybe behind it, kind of. There's that.
It's getting ready to be something else. It's going to be really exciting.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay, very cool.
Sounds like you got a surprise.
Yeah, no, big fan of Toucan
Well, she
Alley.
she would have the scoop, right? Yeah. So
I've been here all my life, so.
So where can we find you?
Well, you can hear the construction going on upstairs. You're like, what's going on up there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's right. You referenced Clear Lake High School, right? So
yeah, I live in El Lago, 2 streets over from the street I grew up on.
Oh wow, I live in El Lago too.
Area pretty much my whole life.
Awesome.
Yeah, I live on Cedar Lane.
Okay, awesome. I live at the very end of Woodland in the cul-de-sac. Yeah, near the.
And I live right next to a Lago because I'm on the line, literally. Like
Jordan lives right here.
It's right there, across the street behind the store. That's a Lago. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's a short drive from here.
Yeah, which is convenient for John.
Well, I'd love to tell your audience something about the holidays and stuff.
Please.
So a lot of times what happens is during the holidays, depending on what time of the year it is, people are in a hurry, people are running around, people are somewhat stressed out. And then I say to myself, look at what you got around, relax, calm, enjoy what you have. If you're a man of the family and you're fortunate enough to have a beautiful wife and a family, I believe they're gifts from God. Look at them and be a leader and be a pillar. Moms taking care of the children, taking care of their husband and stuff like that. Bring the families together during the holidays and make it a joyful moment. Don't worry about the stress and stuff like that. Just get out there and make it. And then if you are fortunate to be in that position, look at other families that are around you that may not be in quite a fortunate position. When I'm out and about, and a lot of my friends were out and about, we go and talk to people that are sitting by themselves, and we bring them to the table. You would be surprised, just that moment that you can put together for them, what it makes a difference in their life, that they're just included. So just think about the holidays, calm down, relax, enjoy it, do what you can do, have fun with your family, be grateful for what you have, rejoice, and bring people around you to come enjoy the moments that you're going to have together. I think these are what we're talking about. no matter what walk of life you come from, if we can work together, we can make it better for everybody.
That's a great message.
Amen.
And these guys here are awesome, just so you know.
Yeah, they are.
Somebody, I think on Facebook said that's a table of superstars, and so hats off to
I
you
like
guys,
that.
man, for doing superstar stuff. Absolutely.
My pleasure.
Jacob, where can we find you? I know you're the best photographer at this table. Assuming.
Yes, I'm the best.
He's one of the best
In the
ever.
area.
No,
He's
I'm
good.
the best photographer in the city of Houston.
He's good.
No, I'm kidding. So I'm
The
a
best
very
free
humble.
photographer. No, he's like,
I'm
no,
not-
hold on.
I'm not free,
no
man.
free. Yeah,
I'm just
don't
kidding.
devalue. Yeah.
So I do a lot of free work, and typically it's things that I believe in, or I have faith in, or I have an interest in. Right? I don't mind doing free work. I do, like I said, I used to be a wedding photographer on the side. That was my side job for a long time.
I've got so much respect for wedding photographers. That's the most stressful
You know-
job. I always worry about what if the card,
There's always those
lot of
things.
travel.
Imagine, yeah.
For me personally, I like the stress.
Right.
I like
That's
meeting
true.
the people. I like making beautiful moments, for my couples. But over the last, so right before COVID, I kind of put my camera down for a while, and then COVID happened, and I was like, well, that was good timing, I guess. And this year, I decided to pick it up again, and I bought an all-new system, all new gear, and I'm like, I'm going to do YouTube, I'm going to do all these things, and that's what I've been really focusing on, is trying to improve, trying to, grow myself wherever I can. And I like I said, I like to do a lot of free stuff, but, I get a lot of people that, they don't put value in images. And the thing is that I was telling Kiki this earlier, is like, there's moments in your life, and you're never going to be that age again. You're never going to be in that moment again. And I think this is really important for people. And I'm not trying to sell you anything here. It's just you got to capture moments in your life, because whenever I got older, I used to go back and look through all my mom's old photo books, seeing myself. And I remember those moments so vividly, and I'm seeing the picture, and I remember exactly how it was. And, I think a lot of times people, they're like, they don't want to spend $200-300 on a photo shoot, but it's like, you're driving around on a motorcycle. You got a four-wheeler, dude, and you can't afford to capture moments for your family that your kids and your grandkids are cherish one day. Like, to me, that's crazy.
Yeah. It's
priceless, man.
And I don't know. That's my whole spiel. I think that people should put more value in moments like that.
I agree.
But as far as finding me, you can find me anywhere on social media. Facebook is where I'm probably the most active, and YouTube, but also Instagram. Not much on Twitter. I'm not big on Twitter, but just look up my name, Jacob Kitchens, or Jacob Kitchens Photography. You should find me. I usually rank first in most search. And yeah.
So in the last 30 days, I see that you've been doing like a challenge.
Yeah, very stressful challenge. So I, November was coming up, and I was like, man, I want to do something, because I had a little bit of extra spare time, and I was like, what can I do to not necessarily showcase what I can do, but I just wanted to challenge myself. It's like, okay, I'm going to so there's 30 days in November, right? And then you have Thanksgiving, which is a day to be thankful. And I was like, I want to do something different that no one around here is doing. And I was like, I'm going to take a photo every single day, and I'm going to post that photo every single day. And so that's what I did. Every single day, I took a photo, I edited the photo, and I published the photo. And the thing is it might not sound like it's that difficult, but I didn't just take a photo of random items or things, right? Almost every photo that I did, I tried to create a piece of art or
Has
a
a
memorable
meaning.
moment
Yeah.
or something
Yeah.
interesting, something to talk about. And that was the challenging part, because it's hard to get your brain to think creatively every single day, right? A musician is not going to write a song every day.
No, they don't, yeah.
Some days it comes to them. Some days it doesn't. You have writers. They don't write every day. They have writer's block, right? And so trying to create an interesting image every single day for 30 days straight, it was a challenge, because one thing I didn't consider is the time changed. And I get off work at 4:30 from my day job, and that literally gives me 1 hour of daylight
Right.
to try to capture an image. So several of the images ended up being, nighttime stuff and all that. But, man, it was a really interesting challenge. I had a lot of fun. It was very stressful, because I could have done the easy route and just taken a bunch of photos and then posted them daily.
No,
and nobody
yeah,
would have
no.
known. But
Yeah.
but I can't do that.
Yeah.
Like my mind won't allow me, So I'm like, I got to do, what am I going to do today? I don't have anything today. I made a list And they're like, oh, I can't do that. It's dark. Can't do that. It's dark. Can't do that. And so I'm like, what can I do? So I'm like, get my family to help. And they're like, oh, God. You're like, when is November going to be over? Because I'm stressing every day, you know.
Well, it's over.
I care
that's
about
awesome.
what I do, you know. I honestly care.